Empress Zira Vex, her blue skin shimmering under the crimson lights of the command bridge, leaned over the hologram of the ruined human starship. Her violet eyes burned like collapsing stars. "Wreckage identified, Taran Frere T-77, bellowed a three-eyed subordinate, mechanical fingers clacking furiously. "Faint life signs. One human still breathes," Zyra smiled, sharpening her silvered teeth. "Bring him unharmed." The human ship's hull cracked like a rotten egg. Green laser beams sliced through the vacuum as alien soldiers in biomechanical armor pried the cryopod from the void. Inside lay a 30-year-old man, face scarred, muscles taut even in frozen slumber. 24 hours later, medical bay of the ecliptic. Machines hissed, pumping amber liquid into his veins. The human awoke with a gasp, choking on the metallic air. "Breathe slowly, ape," echoed a cold, melodic voice. Zira stood half a metre away, clad in black armour that seemed to melt over her curves. Her white hair floated like serpents in the artificial gravity. "Who the fuck?" The man coughed, struggling to rise. She shoved him down with a single finger, her razor-sharp nail slicing his collarbone. "I am Zira Vex, Empress of the Twin Suns, and you, human, are my property." He laughed, blood trickling from the wound. "Property? Go to hell." Zira gripped his jaw. "Name yourself." "Jake Kessler, and if you think I'll—" "Silence," she cut him off, her blue lips brushing his ear. "Your ship was dead. I revived it. Now I offer this. Marry me. Teach me Earth's secrets, and I'll spare your world when I conquer it." Jake snorted but froze as her hand slid down his chest. "You insane?" "I promise wealth beyond your wildest dreams," she whispered, raising a crystal that projected visions of golden continents. "And this." She pressed against him, her alien heat searing through his clothes. Before he could answer, alarms blared. "Intruders in Sector 5. A guard screamed, vaporized by a purple beam. 3 hooded figures stormed the chamber, weapons trained on Zira. "You will not wed this war worm," snarled the leader, voice distorted. Zira shoved Jake back and drew a plasma pistol from her thigh. "Stand down or die like dogs." Jake, still naked, grabbed a surgical scalpel. "What the hell's happening?" "Old suitors," she replied, firing. "Think ruling a galaxy is easy?" The first intruder exploded into ash. The second lunged, blade humming. Zira parried with her forearm, metal shrieking. Jake tackled the third, driving the scalpel into its throat. Green blood sprayed. "Not my first kill," Jake growled, tearing off the intruder's mask. The face beneath was human. Zyra froze. "Earth spies." Before Jake could speak, she yanked him into a brutal kiss, her icy tongue mingling blood and promises. "Choose now, Kessler, glory or death." He glared at the corpses. "I want half your empire." She laughed, biting his lip until it bled. "We'll start with Earth." The throne room was a gilded nightmare. Pulsing crystal columns held up a ceiling open to the starry void, shielded by energy. Zira, now draped in a translucent gown, like starlit mist, gestured at a hologram of Earth spinning above her palms. "Your species is weak," she murmured, tracing the globe. "But you have iron in your soul." Jake, clad in tan military armor upgraded with alien tech, stepped closer. "And you've got a fucked up way of making threats sound like offers," she laughed, tugging his belt. "You killed 3 assassins untrained. Imagine what we'll—" Together, the kiss was electric. Zerk's tongue tasted metallic, like blood and raw power. Her blue fingers clawed his back, and for a moment Jake forgot he was light years from home. Until boom. The palace shuddered. Klaxons wailed as a chromed fighter smashed into the energy shield, disintegrating in a fireball. "Fuck! Zerks!" Jake shouted, spotting the winged invaders with membrane-like wings. "Ex-lovers are worse than roaches," Zyra spat, twin plasma pistols materializing at her hips. "They killed my last consort. Watch for the venom spines." The Zerk stormed in like a hurricane of claws and rage. 6 creatures, each 10 feet tall, roaring in a language that screeched like twisting metal. Jake snapped a particle rifle from a dead guard and fired. "Left flank," he barked, shoving Zira behind a crystal column as a green energy beam vaporized the floor where she'd stood. She stared at him, stunned. "Never thought a human—" "Shut up and shoot," he snarled, diving to avoid a clawed swipe. Zira grinned, genuinely, for the first time. Together, they carved through the Zerks in a lethal dance. As the last foe crumpled, she pinned him against the wall, breath ragged. "You excite me," she admitted, teeth grazing his neck. "I want you in my chambers. Now." The room glowed amber, its floating bed shrouded in heated mist. Zira undressed slowly, tribal markings glowing like neon across her azure skin. "The pact requires consummation," she purred, straddling him. Jake tried to speak, but she silenced him with her lips. Alien hands mapped every scar, every muscle, while machines beneath the bed tracked his racing pulse, until a hologram erupted, displaying Earth. "Alert! Earth Fleet Alpha 7 detected in Mars orbit," droned an AI. Zira paused, annoyed. "Delaying an invasion for sex. Crass." Jake sat up, sweating. "That fleet, it's the Terran Alliance, my old squad." She arched a brow. "Here to rescue you? How quaint." "Or ex-me," he muttered, staring at the fleet's emblem, a wolf clutching swords. "If I'm MIA, they'll assume I turned traitor." Zira gripped his face. "Then show them your mind. Now." The floor trembled. On screen, Earth's fleet opened fire on the ecliptic. "God damn it!" Jake leapt from the bed, yanking on his gear. "They've got nukes!" Zira laughed, armor spiraling from her necklace to encase her. "Finally. Fun." The ecliptic shook under nuclear bombardment. Screens flashed blood red as Zira, clad in smouldering black armor, orchestrated defenses with rapid holographic commands. "Shields at 43%, screeched a scaly alien technician. Jake gripped his rifle, eyes locked on the Terran fleet, his old emblem, the wolf and swords, seared into the view screen like a brand of betrayal. "Open comms," he ordered, ignoring the crew's distrustful glares. Zira seized his arm. "If they shoot to kill, return the gift." "They don't know what hell they're unleashing," he snapped, activating the transmitter. Captain Alara Voss flickered on screen, ex-squad mate, burn scar cutting across her face. "Kessler," she choked, "you're collaborating with this thing?" Zira laughed, wrapping herself around Jake. "He's my consort now. Care to watch our honeymoon?" Alara paled. "Earth doesn't kneel to alien empresses. Full barrage." The ecliptic rocked. Jake hit the deck, Zira atop him, their lips meeting in a fierce kiss as debris rained down. "You crave chaos," she whispered, nipping his ear. "I crave you alive," he growled, shoving her clear of a laser blast. As battle raged, Jake followed an emergency signal to a hidden hangar. Inside, 3 Earth ships docked. Infiltrators. "Kessler!" A soldier ripped off his helmet. Jax, his former squad leader. "The Alliance is extracting you. That alien bitch plans to use you to crack Earth's shields." Jake froze. "How?" "She planted a virus in your neural implants." Jax thrust a scanner at him. Alien code pulsed in Jake's brain. "Move, now!" Before Jake could react, Zira materialized in the doorway, pistol smoking. "Pathetic rodents," she hissed, firing. Jax erupted into gore. Jake aimed his rifle, hands shaking. "True, the virus?" Zira stepped closer, alien blood speckling her azure face. "You thought I'd trust a human?" Her voice was arctic. "But what I felt in that bed, that was real." He hesitated, then heard the whisper of a blade behind her. "Die, bitch!" One of Zira's spurned suitors, a tentacle-faced alien, lunged. Jake shot first. The thing crumpled. Why? Zyra breathed, stunned. You still owe me half your empire, he growled, yanking her into a kiss laced with fury and want. Zyra led him to a forbidden chamber, choked with Earth's holograms. At its center throbbed a black crystal. The virus is here, she admitted. Activated, it drops Earth's shields in 24 hours. Jake aimed his gun at the crystal. Disable it, now. Zyra smiled, bitter. You don't understand. Something worse comes. Earth needs my empire too. The ship lurched, screens flared, an unknown armada, organic warships, like living asteroids poured from a rift. The Devourers, Zyra paled. They've come for your solar system. Jake stared at Earth's hologram. Prove I'm not a pawn. Destroy the virus. She slammed a button. The crystal imploded. Now Zyra seized his collar, blue blood dripping from her nose. You and I die saving your planet. The Devourer fleet was a cancer on the sky. Organic leviathans, larger than continents, siphoned sunlight and spewed shield-eating spores. Zyra, bleeding blue from every pore, dragged herself to the Ecliptic's controls. The core, she coughed, collapsing into Jake's arms. It's an antimatter bomb, detonated inside the rift. You knew this would happen, he accused, holding her upright. Used me to get here. Zyra grinned weakly. I needed a human who loved Earth as I love my empire. Outside, Terran and alien ships fought side by side. Silent explosions bloomed. Earth, fragile and blue, quaked under the rift's shadow. The core was a sphere of raw energy. Zyra slumped by its console, her tribal marks fading. The virus wasn't just for Earth, she confessed, gripping Jake's hand. It tracked the Devourers. They killed my people as they'll kill yours. Jake lifted her forehead to forehead. How do we blow it? They stole my soul centuries ago, she whispered, touching his chest. You found it. Now use it. He understood. The Ecliptic hurtled toward the rift, shields failing. With her last strength, Zyra pulled Jake into a kiss, stained by blue tears and human blood. You're not dying alone, he vowed, crushing her to him. She laughed, final and fierce. Romantic till the end. The ship pierced the rift. The core ignited. Antimatter fire tore through the Devourers in a cosmic dawn, purple waves purging the stellar plague. On Earth, the night sky blazed with false suns. 1 year later, celestial palace ruins. Jake, eyes now scarred by cosmic radiation, wandered the Ecliptic's carcass. In his pocket, a hologram of Zyra looped her last whisper. If you live, know this. The virus was real. But what I felt was too. He stopped before a shard of blue crystal, all that remained of her. Earth thrived, but the 12 Suns' empire had collapsed into civil war. Even at the end, you were a shitty Empress, he snorted, bitter. On the horizon, a new fleet rose, humans and rebel aliens, united under a banner bearing wolves and star serpents. Jake adjusted his holster, staring into the infinite. Next galaxy's ours, Zyra.